The study abroad program is engineering designed for social change in South Africa.
And we get to see the impacts and the importance of designing an engineering solution for the community or for the environment that you're working in.
We did 8 days in Cape Town and 8 days in Johannesburg. While we were there, we worked with various students, different companies, certain entrepreneurs.
We heard from people that were big executives at engineering companies, and then we heard from college students that were our age.
After hearing stories from people in lower income areas, we realized that as an engineer, you have to listen to what they want instead of what you think they need.
You see these people, they're living in literally a metal shack, but they're still having fun with their kids, they're still going to school, they're still having a business, they're still having a life. And if you just looked at the problem like, oh, these people don't have running water, they don't have a really adequate structure to live in, we need to build them better things, that doesn't really take into account the fact that people want to stay there. And you're gonna build these houses for people to live in and no one's gonna move there. That's kind of a failure as an engineer.
It's all about communicating with people and being able to solve a problem that in a way that will help everyone rather than actually hurt or hinder the progress that you're trying to make.
In understanding different cultures, how people think helps us improve as engineers, so it helps us design for social change.
Learning how to engineer socially is a skill that cannot be taught in a classroom. We did learn some fundamental theories behind it, but seeing it in action, seeing it in South Africa was just what compounded all together to make one big, great skill set that I can never lose because of this experience.
And that's what I feel like this class does, is it presents you these real-world connections of what the impact of your profession is pretty much on a silver platter.
When we come back, it'll kind of help us look at our culture and we can analyze our culture better too.
That's not all we learned when we were there. Going to a country where the majority of the population is Black impacted all of us in different ways.
We all kind of got something different out of the trip based on our own perspectives, our own backgrounds.
I'd never been somewhere where I felt so empowered, being coming from a place where you kind of live as a minority and going somewhere where you're part of the majority. It's kind of polarizing, especially since that was the first time in my entire life.
I've never felt like the minority in a country. I've always felt like an outsider kind of culturally, but never like the racial minority in a city.
I think it's something that everyone should experience because it really gives you more empathy for people who are constantly living in that situation.
When we come back to America, I definitely think about how I felt in South Africa as the minority. I'm sure that they could definitely feel some of those things here in the United States.
And feeling what it's like when the tables have turned teaches you how to engineer for people with different backgrounds.
The engineering decisions you make impact everyone, and you can't just think about how that decision impacts yourself, because you are only one type of person. And so you really have to think about the engineering decisions you're making.
That's what makes this study abroad program so impactful.
No matter what you read about it, or what you heard about it, nothing could really prepare you for some of the things we actually saw and some of the interactions with the people. There really is only one way to get that, and that's really just up close and personal experience with it.
I think I'm just always thinking about engineering in a bigger context now. And I kind of have a better way of being able to communicate that with people because of that trip.